What is going on, Multiversers? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another Multiversus video. So today we got a little bit more insight as to some in-game information, like gameplay aspects, stuff that has to do with, you know, a couple of the characters, and a little bit more information about some perks. A little bit of information. So first things first, this one comes from Tony, and he tells us, well, heck, here's some good news if you are a Jake fan. So Tony says, just a few Jake notes here. Jake's combo game is better, which is actually kind of frightening because Jake was actually a pretty good character in the closed alpha. So he now is a better combo game. Oh boy, that might be a little bit frightening, but if you're a Jake fan, hey, good news for you here. Also, more good news, Jake's side air range is now determined by how long you charge the attack. That's kind of cool. Jake's side air, if I'm not mistaken, is his stretchy punch. So the longer you charge up the attack, the longer the outstretched arm will reach, which is going to make for a very, very good tool at KOing your opponents at a longer distance. Again, you can still use it how you did if you were able to play in the closed alpha, but a little bit more range to it depending on how long you charge it. It's actually kind of a, I think that's a decent little change there. I like that one. But we do got a little bit of a nerf here to Jake's horse, his horse attack, I should say, where the movement speed has been slowed down a bit, as well as the recovery or the end lag for the attack. So basically, if you miss the attack, if you miss Jake's horse, he's got a little extra end lag on it, so you can be punished from it. So, you know, if you miss, yeah, I just said that. If you miss it, you can be punished more. But a good thing here, on hit, becomes a better combo starter. So it rewards you for hitting the attack successfully, but also you kind of get a little bit more punished if you miss it. So Jake's horse attack was a pretty decent one in his kit. I will definitely have to admit that. But this seems like a good one. And like they balanced the attack, like they nerfed the attack, but they also gave it you know, combo potential as well, which is, you know, a way at sort of a buff. So you got some a lot of balancing going on with that attack, so it's pretty cool. But and he finishes off by saying lots of general feel improvements on Jake as well. So sounds like Jake is in a, I guess, a better spot than he was in the closed alpha. Again, that's kind of frightening, but we'll see how he plays once the open beta gets here. The next character that we get a little bit of information on is Garnet, and I don't believe we've talked about this character in terms of buffs or nerfs at all. Like, I don't think I've heard anything about her. So Tony does say that Garnet felt like he feels like Garnet was a sleeper top 3 character in the last test. So she did get some additional whiff recovery on some of her safer attacks, and her anti-projectile bubble also has a slower startup. Her star attack also got a bit more of a cooldown. So it sounds like she got some nerfs here, but it sounds like it might be just kind of like minor nerfs. I mean, he finishes off by saying, like, in their initial testing, she's still very strong. So, and I'll be honest, I don't think I came across many Garnets myself, so I don't really have too much of an opinion on the character, if she felt good or she was weak or strong or whatever. I didn't come across too many, so we'll see how this plays out. But it kind of sounds like she got some minor nerfs here. But yeah, I mean, hopefully anybody that played as her, maybe this is bad news. Maybe it's not that. Maybe it's just kind of neutral news. We'll see how it goes. Again, it all depends on the open beta once it gets here. When is it? Well, at the time of recording, we still don't have a confirmation, a concrete date, but I'm sure we'll get one soon enough. And one more character we're going to talk about here is Raindog. So somebody, Dodo on Twitter here, is like, Tony, I'm trying to manifest some news on Raindog changes. How's the dog doing? And Tony comes back with an up air hit is a bit better now, and it will scoop a bit in front as well. So I believe, I'm trying to think, I didn't play Raindog a whole lot, but I believe Raindog's up attack, the one he's referring to, is kind of like a head scooping motion upward. So it's kind of, it should be a good KO option for, you know, kind of above stage, you know, once your opponent gets, you know, higher up towards the blast zone, the upper part of the stage. This should be a good attack, and if it's got a little bit of scoop in front of it, well, that's a buff to the attack. So yeah, there's a tiny bit of news on Raindog. And the last topic is about those perks So our friend Vaderant on Twitter was asking about projectile perks in specific. What changes are coming their way or what nerfs are happening to them? And Vaderant tried to tag Tony in this, and Tony said, hey, you ask, I believe it's Reslived. I think that's how you pronounce it. Reslived, maybe. But this is another person that works on Multiversus, so they know what they're talking about. So again, Vaderant was specifically asking about projectile perks, and unfortunately, I didn't see an actual answer to this, so we just kind of got something a little bit different. And here's what they said with that: generally, perks were doing what they expected them to do. Okay, cool. Perks are working how they should. That's good to hear. But a few of them did have to be toned down a little bit, especially ones that were very dominant at higher levels, namely the Gray Health perk, the Fire and the Ice debuff perks as well. So, yeah, a couple of the higher level meta dominating perks are being toned down a little bit, which is good to hear because I don't want the perk system to revolve around the same 3 or 4 perks. I want many different perk builds to kind of run wild. I don't want the same build that everybody's going to have to run. So it's good that they're getting out ahead of this before, it gets, too crazy. I wouldn't even say it's crazy, but if everyone's using the same perk build, then it just becomes kind of like bland and unfun, and it's like, we might as well just not have perks then. So it's good that they're toning these things down in advance for the open beta. But they finished by saying there is plenty to look forward to on the perk front. I can't wait myself to see about this. But again, we didn't get the actual answer to this for projectile perk changes. And specifically, the 2 that I can think of off the top of my head that might be getting changed are projectile damage increase. Maybe that's getting decreased. Or projectile speed. I believe projectile speed was like increased by an extra 20% or something. Maybe they're going to slow that down, maybe bump that down to like 10%. I'm not quite sure, but either way, a little bit of information about some perks here. That is it for this little video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I guess I'll see you when I'm looking at you.